Well, good afternoon, everybody. Game time, Brian, otherwise known as the mailman, but not today. No, hell no, not today. We are talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We are literally not one, not two, but 3 days away from the start of training camp, and I can't be more excited. And more importantly, I can't be more excited than having my people in here with me, which I'm going to do right now. I see we got Primetime Phil, Troy Daniels, Wade Walker, all ready to roll. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk Cowboys. I expected a lot more people in here. If anybody wants to join the Zoom call, just hit that join button right by my name. That allows you in this call. We do not one, but two Zoom calls a week talking about the Cowboys. And I'm excited. So there we go, baby. We are rocking and rolling. Let's see who is. All right. Okay. Bang, bang. Everybody's ready to go. Listen, me and Mark Holmes, I just want everybody to know everything is fine with me and Mark. He's shots fired. He was shooting. His shots fired at me. So I fired back. And then he texted me, yo, bro, we're finishing up the downtime. So I just want everybody to understand that we're good. We're real good. We just all me, I know Phil and everybody else, we're just counting on Mark Holmes to be ready to go. He's no spring chicken, right? He's no spring chicken. So we want him to be ready. We want to hear all the information coming from the Dallas Cowboys training camp. We don't want to see him a All Nation eating chicken wings at Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever the hell they're going to go. We want to hear what's going on with Trey Lance. We want to hear what's going on with the running backs, the cornerbacks. But anyway, that's it for me. Welcome, boys. What's going on? We got Phil, Wade, Troy, Loyal, and Thomas. Good afternoon. What's going on, everybody?
Game time. How
What's
you doing,
going
guys?
on? What's going on, man?
What up?
Okay.
Everybody good?
Yeah, man. We're right
Yeah.
around the corner from training camp. Some actual Dallas Cowboys stuff actually starting to happen that matters instead of rumored stuff, instead of just in case things. What if this happens? What if that happens? No, man. What if the couple of days pass quickly and we actually get to this training camp?
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's one of those deals where it's weird, right? Because as frustrated as we've been, Phil, we've been very frustrated this offseason. We haven't gotten a lot of answers or anything. We haven't gotten much of anything. But with Trey Lance, with what's going on with our receivers, our young receiver core, what's going on our linebackers, what's going on with our cornerbacks, with Kalen Carson, the human seatbelt, what's going on with our safeties, what's going on with our offensive line. There's going to be a lot of playing time for all of our guys. So it's actually a very exciting time for the Cowboys. Obviously, we got this big weight on our shoulders as far as, is CD going to get signed? Is Dak Prescott going to get signed? With the latest news that we got, Phil and everybody else, and I'll let you guys go from here. Phil, starting with Phil, what is your opinion on the latest comments by Stephen Jones? And what are you thinking regarding CeeDee Lamb?
Unfortunately, yeah, I did watch your video, so I think that's what caught me up with some of that talk. It's hard to disagree with some of the stuff he's saying. I mean, it's when people bring up the whole Jefferson thing, I mean, yeah, he's the only one that's making 20+ million on that roster, and you got a bunch of them. So, man, it's been a long time, and I don't know if it's been more of he's gotten some cliff notes or something, but those points did make sense. I still think he's an idiot, but that's going to take more than a couple of interviews for me to change my mind. But unfortunately, he did make some sense on some of that stuff. My take on it, bro, and I'm right there with you. Let's get it done, or let's not. Let's just move on.
All right, boys, what do you got, man? Starting with whoever. Jump on in there, man. Wade.
It's just the same thing,
Loyal.
different day for me. I mean, Catboy, they're set in their ways, so we just got to accept it and hope for the best.
I don't know. Mike Fisher kind of, I don't know. I was listening to him talk about, You know, I don't know what they could do these contracts, but they're just not doing them. It's just real weird.
It's weird.
I don't know. It's almost like they're just undecided on what they want to do.
Are they procrastinators? I mean, could they be just procrastinators?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe maybe that playoff game like literally threw a wrench into everything. Maybe they're like, damn, we're gonna pay these guys this much money and we don't win anything.
May not be wrong there. I think they're always thinking they're gonna win, so every time they don't, there's a monkey wrench thrown in there.
And that's my whole thing. People like, yes, we need Dak. Like, he's a good quarterback. But like I go back to the main thing. Like, we keep neglecting the biggest thing that has been our Achilles heel for years. We got no defensive line or linebackers to speak of when it comes to them playoff games that can start wearing down the opponent's offense. We don't got it. I mean, we got to get back to that, man. Everyone's like, get another wide receiver. I'm like, no, I need linebackers and defensive linemen.
Wade, you and I kind of talked about that, last, it was Wednesday, I believe it is. I agree with you. After that Green Bay loss, I think there's just a little bit of a pause of, what else do we need to do to get this team over the hump? We've discussed about getting pieces around Dak. We've discussed about, the lack of run game, lack of a nose tackle, a D tackle that can stop the run, and I think just Jerry's at the point of what else can we really do to get over the hump?
And I don't know. It's like Mike Fish talked about this too. Like, Jerry and Steven they know what a Super Bowl team looks like. They know the levels of the team, what need to be right. And I mean, damn, people, let's just be real here. If you could take the 90s Cowboys defense, you're not taking any of these players on our defense over any of those guys on those teams. Like, those dudes, go back and watch those games. We had big defensive linemen. We had sideline to sideline linebackers, solid cornerbacks, and solid safety play. We got none of that on our team today, period. We got none of that. We got Micah Parsons. That's about it.
And he doesn't have all those traits, the discipline, all that stuff. You're right. Very right.
Those 90s teams were a freak of nature, man.
I mean, we got to get back to drafting solid linebackers, drafting big defensive linemen that can control the line of scrimmage. I don't know why they steer clear of all that. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, it almost got to a point, and I want to hear from Troy Daniels. He's here, but it almost got to a point, Wade, where we got to a point where we got more invested in position flex. Let's get somebody who can play multiple positions. Again, at some point you need man on man. That's how football is played. Yeah. That's how football is won. Can you beat the guy in front of you? So that's
it goes back to the whole thing of let's draft Taco Charlton because he fits what we need instead of like drafting TJ Watt, who's going to be better.
And the Joneses got caught up in the sexiness of all of this, and it came back to backfire on them.
I think on the outside looking in, we've talked about it week after week as far as addressing the defensive line and also the running game. This is the thing, how I look at it, again, from the outside looking in, is that I don't think Jerry and them take so much pride in drafting. I don't think they want to look at Mozzie as not the answer, and I think that's probably why they haven't went out and addressed another defensive tackle.
They goofed on that. Mozzie, I don't feel like Mozzie's going to pan out. They could have probably taken several other players that would have made an immediate impact. Here's the thing. I don't understand, Steven, you can go out and make trades for players, Steven. You can go and beef up the defense, but you're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to go get these players, but they're not willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep drafting on defense and hoping these guys pan out instead of going.
Right. Sometimes you just got to unload and go get a particular player. Go
get a Chris Jones. Go get a Bobby Wagner. Go get these guys that are going to make an immediate impact on your defense. Don't draft guys that you hope are going to be, making an immediate impact.
Mark Combs is in the house. Yeah, nut hugging, baby. What's up? Hey. What's up? Troy, you there, brother?
Yeah, I am. My
What's
wife
happening,
is
gentlemen?
asleep right now.
Okay, I'm sorry, bro. I won't make you
So
talk.
I gotta kind
I
of be
mean, Dan,
silent.
we can't do anything now, fellas. That would like we're literally we're gonna wait till the end of training camp. All the players that are gonna get cut, we're gonna pick through the scraps, and this is gonna be our team.
I don't know about that.
And then maybe they make a trade during the trade deadline, before the trade deadline. Who knows?
I don't know about that,
just,
Wade. I think this team has gotten into a mode of we're not going to pay nobody until we see them in camp, how they looking, what's going on. It's a very odd time to be a Cowboys fan because but now hearing Stephen Jones talk, obviously they're already. I think it's no surprise, people. CD is going to hold out. CD will get a new deal. Why? Because you have to. CD is going to be back. That's just a fact of the matter. It sounds like Dak's going to be back, assuming Dak wants to be back. That's what it's going to come down to, people, because I assure you, $4 million a year annually is not going to make a decision whether Dak's going to come back or not. It just won't. I think Dak is going to sign probably for around $55 million. It may come out higher, but it's all about the guarantees. I do think Dak
60.
gets done. I don't think he's getting 60. There's no way in hell he's going to get 60. The only way he gets 60, whoever said that, whether it was Thomas, I think he gets 60 if he goes to the open market after this year. You do get a discount.
Like I told you, Brian, he's gonna get between 55 and 58. He's not getting 60.
No, he's not going to get 60.
He'll get 60 in the free agency, but
yeah,
I don't think he'll get 60 from Dallas.
Yeah, no. And there's a premium, real quick. There's a premium to get paid now. Everybody wants to laugh and go, oh, no, it's too late. No. Bullets have not started flying yet. Once the bullets start flying, then it's all bets are off. Now anything can happen. He could literally end his career with one snap. That's the NFL, people. People want to laugh, but he's one hit away from not getting 60 or 55. So he'll take a $56 million year.
I think Coyote's right in the sense that it'll be 55 to 58, but then by the end of that contract, it'll be in the 60s if it is with Dallas. So, I mean, again, man, I just want it just to happen. If it's going to happen, if it's not, man, I just want to move on. This is one of those years, man. If you're going to have any kind of down year, this is it's still a pretty good roster to have it with. You're relying on a lot of young guys to see what you have for the future. Unfortunately, there's just guys you're wasting a year with, like, for example, Zach Martin, where you're talking about a possible retirement and another career you've just wasted for an all-pro. So, and then unfortunately they've had to leave Dallas in order to get those chances in the Super Bowl. And even people I hate, like Randy Gregory, the first year he went out, got traded around, and then bam, he's in the Super Bowl. Son of a bitch! Like, so it's just to me, it just says a lot of karma there that you guys need to change a lot of the stuff that you're doing in that front office. And to me, I thought Jimmy Johnson being brought in, whether or not he's ever had the salary cap era and all that, I really don't care. It's just a different set of words coming out of somebody's mouth inside that front office compared to we're gonna do, the mumbling and then all that stuff. It's getting old, and I just want them to, let's just get some guys in here that are going to compete. I think the biggest thing is compete. I want in every position. We talked about, we don't expect Trey Lance to go out there and beat Dak Prescott, but at least he's something compared to Cooper Rush. I mean, right now Cooper Rush could be definitely in that second tier of quarterback backup, but at least you have some competition. At least there's some talk there. The running back, we always wish it could be better, but at least the offensive line that's blocking for those running backs are so much better. We don't have a left tackle that we're going, well, how many games is Tyron Smith going to play? And we have a pool going on in the background. Oh, who said Thanksgiving he was going to blow out, So to me, it's just having a reliable offensive line. Man, that's big. I mean, the fact that you possibly could, miss out on Zach Martin next year, but you already have guys in the wing, TJ Bass, Cooper Beebe. That's awesome, man. So enough of my rambling.
I hear you.
I'm excited about that.
Is it possible? Is it possible? And Mark Holmes, put some cotton in your ear right now, bro, or take your hearing aids out. Is it possible that Steven is waiting for? He came for you game time. I don't like that, bro. You know, I know it's all.
It's all.
I know it's all funny games.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. You'll know. You'll figure that out.
I'm just teasing. I know it's all funny games, but do you think that Stephen Jones, because apparently Stephen is really making the calls right now, is waiting to see when is you guys' bye? Is it like week 7, week 8?
It's like right near yours.
7, 8-ish.
Yeah, I want to say it's week 5 or 6, something like that.
Right. Do you think Stephen Jones is waiting to see what you guys' record looks like before he even thinks about giving Dak an extension?
You know
because
what, Drew?
If you guys go into the bye, and I'm just hypothetically speaking,
you never know. Hey, no, you're right.
That's a great call.
If you guys are like 2-5, Dak is not getting extended. You know what I mean? Even if you guys are 500, Dak is not getting extended. Steven is like, I've seen enough. I know what this is. Dak, you can go test the market, and we're going to go in a different direction. That's what I'm kind of sensing from the
I think if anything, you give him an idea to go, hey, yeah, that's what I want to do. I can't give Stephen Jones any kind of credit that he's, some kind of, I'm going to wait for this chess move down the road in order to be able to. No, unfortunately, but Drew, I love at least that take. You can walk away. At least Cowboy fans or maybe are pro Dak would jump off of that wagon at least if you are sitting at that type of a record. So yeah, I mean, we've seen some situations where they've walked into and you're going, what the hell, guys? How many people were harping to get instead of Zach Martin to get what's his name, or Mr. Moneyman over there from Texas A&M. I can't think of his name. Yeah, and so how many people were up in arms, and then now look at the whole thing. So I mean, there has been times where history has just kind of been able to back up what Dallas is doing. It's hard for me to believe that truly. I mean, if you really listen to those stories, they really wanted Manziel. So just like Brian said earlier in one of his videos, they, as much as they have this dilemma with Dak, it's a nice blessing because really they tried to kind of get Paxton Lynch and all these other quarterbacks, and they just happened to fall on Dak.
They got lucky.
That just happened to fall. They got
lucky.
No skill at all.
None.
Or Phil, how about this? Let's say Dallas is 2-5. All hypothetical, no shade or anything.
I think
like
it was a possibility.
Let's say Dallas
is realistic.
Let's say if Dallas is 2-5 and Stephen Jones comes to Dak and say, "Hey, look, Dak, we're not signing you, buddy. Like we're done with it. Waive your trade clause, and let's get some takers." I'm sure the Raiders will give him the $60 million that he's looking for, with a boatload of picks and maybe a possible player. You know what I'm saying? That just an interesting scenario.
That's not a bad spot, Drew. Because
if we're 2-5, then a lot of people are going to be gone besides Dak. Mike McCarthy will probably be without a job.
But how much of a value do you get out of a 2-5 quarterback that's going into his last year and possibly a free agent? How much value? And I like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just Dax and his agent are just way too smart to get loopholed into some kind of thing like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, if you go to Dak and say you pick the team, I mean, if it's like a Raiders or the Giants, I mean, you don't want to do interdivision.
Mark says,
but then you
it'd be crazy though if he hits that market and he's like all of a sudden hitting $70 million because teams are actually bidding for him. I don't think he wants to sit out of that kind of
Mark
situation.
Holmes says
Dak $70 million. That's crazy.
Drew. No, that's somebody. Somebody, Miami will be some kind of crazy ass team that would out of nowhere you just be like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, Drew. Mark says Dak would ride it out and pick a team. Why would he want to help them out? Here's the deal, Mark, and I disagree with you there.
Yeah, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
It does make sense, but what I'm telling Mark is, if you say, okay, what are some of the teams you'll be interested in? Okay, he knows now. Let's be honest here. He don't have to wait till the offseason to realize where he might be wanting to land. I got news for you. It's the New York Giants. It's the Oakland Raiders. It's the Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams would not happen, like Drew's saying, mid-season.
I think Drew's right there. The Raiders are definitely one of those mixed.
So it would be a deal where, and I'm not going down this road. I got news for you, Drew. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think, unfortunately, that might be better for us, Drew. I'm just going to keep it 100.
Well, money opens up by that point.
Absolutely. To bring some talent in at that point.
Yeah, I think what
draft picks.
Yeah, but getting back to Drew's original thought, I think that's not like we talked about it. If you make a deal in November, let's say Dallas is 3. I think it's more likely, Drew, that Dallas is hovering around 500, 3-2, 3-3. I think I believe it's week 7. Maybe they're 3-3. Okay. At that point, you're gonna know, and you're gonna, you like you said, use your eyes. How is he playing? Okay, these are some of the better teams in the league because we start out with the tougher schedule up front. So we're going to know right away. Now, if Dak is lighting it up, then good luck.
Well,
you know?
I don't think any of that's going to be predicated off of Dak's play. We know what Dak
it's
is.
a defense.
We know what Dak do. It'll be defense. It'll be teams
running all over us.
Double teaming. Running out, or offensively, teams keying in on CD. If you guys don't have anybody else, if you don't add anybody else, then it's teams keying up on CD to kind of cut back his production. And then what else does Dak have to throw to? So, I mean, I don't think any of it's predicated off of his play because Dak is a good quarterback. He's going to get his numbers, but wins and losses just don't come off of how the quarterback plays only. So it's the defense. It's how defenses are playing against you.
Yeah, sorry to jumping in, Wade and Troy and all them. This is the first year I've kind of really liked our wide receivers. I feel like we have something beyond 3 and Gallup. Every time it's just one of those things with this team. It's like, oh, we're paying him so much money, so he has to be out there. Well, if I'm not throwing all my money on Tolbert, but at the same time, I'm liking Brooks, I'm liking Ryan Flournoy. I'm liking some of these wide receivers that we have beyond. Again, you have to prove something once the lights actually come on because all of a sudden your knees can start shaking and you can't play at all in the NFL. So they still got to prove it, but at least it's not. I don't know, man. It just seems like a couple of years ago we just had guys that couldn't find zone coverages. Just couldn't find holes in the coverage. Like for the Eagles, I mean, you guys have an all-star type of wide receiver crew, and that's what I think elevates your quarterback. Where I think here we're on the opposite side, where I think Dak elevates these wide receivers, and unfortunately you're going to need to update these. You need to bring them the running backs up a little bit too, because Zeke's going to need the help.
I agree with you there, Phil. And it's funny that you talk about our wide receiver crew over there because I think is the best out there, best duo.
It's great.
And
it's an amazing.
With all that
it's
shit
amazing
that Mark talks about.
Down to the fourth and fifth receiver.
With how we whiffing on Arcega-Whiteside and Rager not getting the man out there, but even with that, at the end of the day, we still have the best receiving duo out there. You could say we gave up a first rounder for AJ, but we had 2 first rounders, that year anyway. So
yeah, I think Tennessee was stupid to get rid of them.
Absolutely, they haven't been right ever since.
No, they haven't.
So even though we whiffed on those 2, as Mark likes to bring up on a regular, we still have the best duo out there.
Yeah, it's not like you guys drafted CD in the 4th round. I mean, come on, you got lucky, and you got to get lucky sometimes, right? But let's not act like the Cowboys are the best at drafting wide receivers either. Come on.
Yeah, they thought what's his name was gonna make up the slack for Amari Cooper. What's his name? What's one of our wide receivers?
I forgot about it. What's the
4th string wide receiver we got?
Tolbert?
Yeah, they thought Tolbert's gonna make up. Yeah, Tolbert's gonna make up the slack for Amari Cooper. I'm like,
Tolbert looks great during the offseason. You're like, ooh, Tolbert's gonna look good.
And Wade.
It's like Ezekiel Elliott the first 4 years of his contract. You're like,
damn,
Amari, good shorts and a helmet.
I mean, damn, Amari Cooper could not practice all week and come off the couch and be better than him at wide receiver.
Yeah.
And you had to trade to get Amari Cooper, so I mean, I guess didn't draft too well to get a good wide receiver there either. So
yeah, they literally traded Amari Cooper because he didn't want to practice and he kind of wanted to go to the beat of his own drum, and it's like, as long as he's productive, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, what does it matter?
Real quick before we get started, everybody, we're sitting here at $27 in super chats. So we are $53 away. Wait, I don't know how to add 50. We're $43 or $48 away from.
He's used to doing money change for stamps and stuff. So you got to excuse him.
We're $48 away from our next giveaway. We got plenty of prizes for everybody. Wait, did you get your book yet?
I gotta check the mail when I get home.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't checked the tracking. It was shipped the next day. So if you haven't gotten it, you should get it by tomorrow. But yes.
All right.
Everybody, we are close to another giveaway, so don't forget the super chats. But getting back to the show, Chris May, where you at, bro? Are you cooking pizzas? Why aren't you in here? Arturo Gomez. Hey, James. Hey, Jamie, you start to act like Stephen Jones doing the counts. Hamid, what's up, Hamid? CeeDee Lamb, best damn slot receiver in the NFL. He busted your ass, Hamid. I'm sorry.
I call him the universal remote, except for coming back to the ball in midair.
Look at that, Phil. I like it. I like it. I like
the
it.
human joystick. I got Dante Hall.
Yeah. I just know he just doesn't come back to the ball. If it's not in his motion and thing, he just like, yeah, I'm not going back there. I don't get
Who
paid
left
for that.
us? Is that Troy? I guess Troy left.
Troy left us.
Yeah. Well, Troy's wife was.
Troy's
sleeping.
like, I'm about to get in trouble with my wife. By,
I don't
making
even
too much
have
noise.
to say anything. This shit is hilarious. What's up, Bobby Murphy? How are you? How are you, bro? Yeah, we're eating our popcorn. Didn't AJ play slot more? Coyote, get ready, bro. You know, and I know, Coyote, that when Kellen gets in there, that's not a bad thing. You guys crack me up. Anybody, and this goes back to Drew, who was saying slot receiver. Drew, they play nickel and dime these days. He's not going against the safety. I can guarantee you that. But at the end of the day, I don't care. People can think what they want. CD is a number one receiver. AJ can be a few notches ahead. Listen, AJ Brown can be a few notches ahead. I sleep really good either way. It doesn't matter to me. The whole bottom line is, who's your number two? Who's your tight end? How's your offensive line? How's your quarterback? Those are all the things that really matter when it comes to winning a game or a playoff game, rather than
I think both teams have question marks on defense. Let's go. Like, if you're gonna, you can go offense. Oh, this is what you're better, and then your wide receivers. We both tight ends. Hey, boom. I think the defense. I think well, you're lacking this, and I'm lacking that. Yeah, it's a lot of question marks going into this.
It all goes back to the it all goes back to the defense for me. I don't care about having more weapons on offense. Defense has been a constant issue for over a decade. I'm getting tired of this shit. Getting tired of getting ran on over and over and over and over. I'm getting tired of this shit. Can we get linebackers? Can we get defensive linemen?
Right.
Like, quit worrying about getting another big name wide receiver. We need another number one wide receiver. I ain't worried about that. I'm trying to stop the run. I'm trying to shut them down.
They're trying to buy another jersey, Wade. Let them be jersey buyers.
Oh, we can't have a linebacker. They're not going to sell jerseys. We need to get the guy. We need to get another big name wide receiver. No.
Wade, I've been saying that shit until I'm blue and black in the face.
But defenses are at a disadvantage now. It's an offensive league. Like, all of us,
definitely.
40 plus,
for sure.
20, 30 years ago, defenses weren't as
clotheslining each other.
Offenses weren't, so much. They were a little bit more balanced, or even more run heavy. Whereas, like, back in those days, I remember growing up and saying, if you got a good defense and a good running game, you can go anywhere. And that's pretty much still the case. But offense is an offensive league. So you're looking at, you got teams with dual wide receivers because they're throwing the football. And if you have, that's going to open up your running game. So having like these, tremendous running backs, it's something that you like to have, but you really need running linebackers that can cover tight ends, linebackers that when you go to a nickel setting, when you go to, a setting where a team is passing a lot, that you don't have to take guys in and out off the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you need a dominant defense. Go and look at every Super Bowl team. I think every defense had to have been in the top 10 easily, across the board. I know it's an offensive league, but look at what happened to Patrick Mahomes when he faced the Buccaneers. He got absolutely just decimated by that defense. That's what a defense will do. Absolutely destroy you if it's dominant.
But look at those other games. Like in 2017, Tom Brady we had a top 5 defense, and he threw a record 500 yards. And that was one of the most entertaining Super Bowls. And between the two teams, they scored how many points? It was like, what, 70, 80 points or something like that. So, I get you, but teams
And the Giants won
the
2
league is
Super
predicated.
Bowls. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls with defenses.
Right, but that was like, what, 10,
Not too
11
long
years
ago,
ago?
Drew. Was that
Not
was
that
That's
long
still
ago,
modern. That's
but
still
now-
that's still pretty modern era. I mean, even Peyton Manning
Right,
in
no, what I'm
2015,
saying
dominant
was-
defense
right.
won.
But even the league was a little bit different 10, 15 years ago. Teams are more predicated to offense, throwing the football.
There
You know what I mean?
there has been no quarterback since Peyton Manning that has thrown over 55 TDs in a year, and that was 2013. Like, so I'm just trying to say, like, what are we talking about here? Peyton Manning was throwing up 55 TDs in a year, over 10 years ago, and we're saying, oh, offenses are way more productive.
Oh, and
really?
you bring
When's
up-
the last time? Hold
I
up.
mean,
how about Tom
it's-
Brady, like throwing for 50 TDs in his 40s? What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
Like,
but the pass interference is different as well too. I mean, they can throw down the
Exactly.
field, and your offense gets a pass
Defense,
interference call
yes,
very
right.
easily. So I
Defenses
agree.
are more disadvantaged.
Yeah,
They're
it's like-
disadvantaged.
That's why
And
there
that's
has been a
coming
question in
from-
the past.
That's coming from an ex-University of Oregon quarterback and Phil, so he knows all about pass interference. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, man, you trust me. I have plenty of those that I wish they would have called, but they didn't call because that's all the damn Ducks like to do is run a damn ball. Stupid damn Ducks.
Did you play the Chip Kelly, Phil?
And
I actually
and
before
now-
Velati was my coach.
Okay.
I mean, damn, we got to
Rookie-
forget about the
rookie.
07 Patriots. How much was Tom Brady throwing up that
He
year?
was just launching those things. He saw Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper. He's like, shit, I can do that.
How about in '98? How about in '98? The Minnesota Vikings, Randall Cunningham was
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
they put up the record points.
You just could. Randy
and
Moss
killed
is
it
the,
that year.
is the
The ultimate
denominating
weapon,
factor.
baby.
Yeah,
Chris
but-
Carter
but
and
who-
Moss.
What
exactly.
other teams were doing that? Just,
Yeah,
we
totally.
could pick out one team, but that wasn't the league. The entire league right now is predicated off of offense now. Everybody's throwing the football.
Yeah, but my whole
And-
but the league now quarterback play is down compared to 10 years ago.
I
Easily.
just like the fact that there's some of
Easily.
these defenses that are keeping these offenses in the game. Both teams that represented the Super Bowl, man. As much as you're giving crap
hey,
to the Chiefs, they had a
where's-
defense that keep them in the game.
Absolutely.
Heck
we
yeah.
Francisco
don't
kept it.
hold on.
Chris
Here's
Jones
my
is a
whole
beast.
thing. Here's my whole thing. Where's the quarterback player? They're like, where these offenses put up just all these points. Hold up. Where's Drew Brees at? Where's Tom Brady at? Where's Brett Favre at? I don't see Peyton Manning rolling around anywhere. Where are
Well,
all
they
these
played like
quarter-
12,
none-
15 years. That's
none-
where they're
none of
hitting on the
these-
cows. It's
None of the, yeah, what I'm saying is none of these quarterbacks these days were throwing up the numbers them dudes were throwing up. I'm sorry. Maybe Patrick
know.
Mahomes. Maybe
I don't
Patrick
know about that,
Mahomes
Will.
and Dak sometimes. Shoot.
Dude, we think
Peyton
of Troy
Manning-
Aikman as
Peyton-
one of those greats, but Troy was like
Peyton Manning
155 a
threw
week. It was like
55 TDs in
Troy
his
wasn't
mid
putting up-
30s.
Troy wasn't putting up big numbers.
that's what I was saying. There was
I
a
mean,
lot of
yeah,
quarterbacks
yeah.
back then that
Yeah,
worked. I mean,
Emmett ran the ball more than Troy is throwing it as far as production goes.
Exactly.
so I would probably agree in the sense that like I think it's just an offensive game in the sense of just even the pass interferences and all that stuff. That things needs to change, but we can't really do that. I mean, with the concussions all out there, that movie they had to adjust some stuff, and it's unfortunately we're in that growing pains right now with this. And who's to say in 10 years where this team? This could 10 years. This could be a
mobile quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry,
Well,
like
that's
yeah,
always
been
like
nice.
they're gonna have to form like
Say-
you could.
say
They
that
don't
again,
say
Will, you
mobile
cut out. I didn't hear
quarter.
you're cutting
I
off.
said mobile. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said mobile quarterbacks that all they do is like run first and like pass second. They don't make it in the NFL. You have to turn into a pocket passing quarterback. You have to.
Well, if you could do it the other way around, I think if Michael Vick would have like the way that he was already playing, by the time he got to Philly, he was pass first and then he would run. And if you're only running
Exactly.
occasionally doing it because you need to, like, man, that was great. But it usually takes a smart mind to eventually get to that point.
Right.
Because when you're
And-
young,
and-
you think you're invincible.
And Phil, you can address this, and I'm not addressing this to no one on the program. I think that's a bit unfair narrative to put that kind of understanding on mobile quarterbacks, because that's where the league is turning to. And that's the same narrative that people used to have back in the day about Black African American quarterbacks. Like, oh, he's Black, you're African American, he can't read defenses, he can't do this. And that was a bunch of malarkey, because you still had the Warren Moons, you still had the
Warren
what's
was
the
a good
kid's
example.
name who played, the kid who played in at Tennessee who passed away. God rest his soul.
Vince
Yeah,
Young.
Steve McNair.
Vince Young.
McNair. You had Donovan
McNair. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Doug Williams, who went to a Super Bowl.
Doug Williams.
You had Michael Vick that when he did come to
Michael
Philly,
Vick was
and we
lights
had
out the
Andy
one
Reid,
year.
Andy Reid was able to help him adapt. So saying that athletic, mobile quarterbacks can't translate
What's up, Marcus?
and become copycats. Look at Dak. Dak, when he first came in the league, he was like Jalen. That's why.
You know
Yeah,
what, Drew?
what I'm simply saying is Dak is going to slowly. He's already becoming more
in the pocket.
really run much anymore. He got his legs snapped.
Yeah.
You have to become. I've heard Hall of Fame offensive line talk about this all day. The quarterback position is meant to be played in a pocket. That's where it's meant to be played. And in the NFL, when you get outside the pocket, you are getting hit by men that will end your life. They'll end you. They will end your career.
That's why
If you stay still on the field.
that's
Hell,
why Tom
sometimes you don't
Brady-
even have to get out of the pocket to get in.
What happened
Look
to
at Joe Montana.
Yep.
and Joe Theismann? I mean, you know, his
Theismann,
career ended in
It's
the
a
pocket.
happy
So
medium.
playing football in general, any at one
Brad.
play in your career. You know what I mean?
Alex Smith.
I just think it's an unfair narrative to say that.
Well,
No,
you do have a bigger risk when you're a quarterback and you are running with the ball. Like you're taking the risk of getting hit. Like when you're outside the pocket and you're gonna run upfield, you're taking that risk.
I'm sure Phil will disagree when you're in the pocket.
Yeah, I would say it just depends on the
15-pound
situation.
lineman.
You slide, you
Exactly.
run out of bounds, you don't take. Dak
If
is a
you
great
have a
example. Dak is a great example
Right.
right now. When you see him run, you see those feet up in the air. He's not pinning his
Yeah,
feet
exactly.
down against it.
That's
His
it.
elbow is up in the air now. If he can get it in there with some, somebody to support his fall. But
Exactly.
I just think there's a lot of ways to get around it. Again, you have to get that mentality going into the NFL right off the bat in order to really play for a very long time. And I think Dak did it within his first 2 years. I think Hurts.
I'm just simply saying, as these mobile quarterbacks get older, they're gonna have to become pocket passers.
Definitely. Oh,
They're
we're
gonna have to
with you.
slowly
I
become pocket
agree.
passers.
The
You're getting
NFL
older, you're
shelf
getting
life
slower.
of an
You
NFL
definitely have to
quarterback
throw the
mobile.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to throw the football. I mean, look at Shador. He's coming out. He'll probably be the number one pick. I
Unfortunately.
know if something happens with Dak, I know Dak is going to be. I mean, Dallas will be, clamoring for Shador if any shenanigans happen or whatever.
Highly
But, I
doubt.
mean,
that Dallas ain't gonna give an arm and a leg to get him.
I just don't look at him and go, man, they got
They got
the
the
traits.
tank.
He's got the traits.
the
He's got a
tank.
brand behind him. I think that's all it is. He's Ice
I agree
Spice.
with you, Phil.
To me, he's Ice Spice right now. He's just got no eye candy at all. Watch it.
He's
There's
sexy-
nothing there to look at and
sexy
go,
red.
wow, I want that. No, man. Like,
Well, see,
Red Phil.
for a guy who's actually in Colorado, and I went to the Bucs games last year, I don't even think he's the best player on the team, or less to be drafted number one overall. I would
that
take
corner,
Travis
though,
Hunter.
I'll give you
Travis
Sanders.
Hunter.
I
Travis
love the
Hunter's
corner,
the
though.
best.
Sanders, man, the Hunter, the corner.
Travis Hunter.
Oh, this kid that he plays both
That-
ways? Is that the
that
kid that
dude,
plays
He
both
did
ways?
both ways.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
He was one of the nation leaders in interceptions
Dude,
last year.
he can ball. He can ball. So that's
He's
a
monster.
baller right
Yeah.
there. I see that.
Yeah,
That
that's
he
a
has a hit
problem.
factor more than Shador does.
Yeah,
I mean,
it definitely.
it's more of a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Travis
all
Hunter.
know that quarterbacks coming out of college in the NFL, it's a crapshoot. You don't even know what's going to happen.
It's the
Absolutely.
football.
Sure.
It's the football. Lamar ball and all the balls and stuff coming out right now. It's just that's what it is. It's just you can't get sucked up into that hype, especially if you're. But
No.
Dallas, they love to
No.
do that.
You can't get caught up in that. I was listening to a YouTube content creator last night, and he said it, and and what all he said made a lot of sense. We was talking about this past draft because you had you had a gazillion quarterbacks to get drafted in this draft, and he said it. He said, "Man, look at this shit. Look at all these damn quarterbacks get drafted." I hate to tell y'all.
Was he a running back?
Huh?
Was he a running back? Is that why he's all pissed off? He's like, "You damn running backs, ain't."
No, he was just expressing his opinion about it. He said it. He said, "Man, look at this shit, man.
Well, the nice thing about
you got all these gazillion quarterbacks get drafted in the first round, and it's gonna be a damn shame because only two of them quarterbacks
Agreed. Might work out. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, and that actually helped Philly out a lot because if all those quarterbacks weren't drafted, we would have had to trade up to get, the guy we wanted as far as Kenyon Mitchell. So, all that talent, all that quarterback talent that went in the first round really helped out some teams that didn't have to trade up to get who they wanted.
Yeah, because he said only 2 of them is gonna make. And when he said that, I kind of thought about 2016 because if you think about that draft in 2016, only 2 quarterbacks are still playing from that 2016 draft. That's Dak and that's
Goff.
No, 3. I'm sorry, 3. Dak, Goff, and
Was Bradford in that?
No.
No. Stafford.
Way early.
No, Stafford was older.
Okay.
He played with Philadelphia.
Wentz,
Now
he's a backup in KC now.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
He is in KC right now, back with Andy.
Yeah.
Or not back with Andy, but with Andy, I should say. No, who drafted him? It wasn't Andy. Andy was gone by then.
Who y'all talking about?
Yeah, was it Doug Peterson?
Peterson
did, yeah.
Yeah, but he's backing up Mahomes now.
That's actually a pretty good spot for him right there.
Exactly. I mean, he could possibly get a second Super Bowl ring.
It's not bad when he's the game difference. Like, he comes in and he's the front of the game, but he can't be your main guy going into it. Yeah. I mean, that might work out for him, actually. That's a good way to chase a ring, though. I mean, if you're at that there.
Yes, sir.
Got to stop Kansas City from getting that 3rd straight.
Yeah, we can't have that, man. Definitely cannot. But prime time, I got prime. If you like what you're hearing,
thank you, man.
If you like what you're hearing from my guy Prime Time, he's
sorry.
You're hitting all the. I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head today.
Well, I haven't talked in a while, man.
You got your A game on. Anybody likes what you're hearing?
Last night.
Yeah, that's
anybody
what it was.
Who likes what you're hearing, his channel is pinned up at the top. Please subscribe to Prime Time. Obviously, everybody knows that is in here now that me and Prime Time do 99% of our shows together on his channel. So if you like me, you like Prime Time. So sub up to him now, please. And even if you're watching this on replay, please sub up to Primetime Phil. He knows it all. He's played the game at Division A, 1A level. He's a quarterback at Oregon. He knows his shit. Again, we just got to get him out of his cave and on here more often. But
now I'm back, man. I feel now. I'm mad. I got everything situated. So again,
everybody loves
I'm
Prime
ready.
Time.
I'm ready to
Look
go
at the chat, Phil. Everybody loves
appreciate
it.
that.
They are yearning for more and more from you. So I will say this.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Me and Phil are going to Dallas Eagles. I got news for Phil off air. I will share with him, but we are going to be there. Anybody who wants to hang out, Wade, I'm locking you in, bro. You're on here. I'm locking your ass in. Wade is going to drive us from Frisco to Arlington. We're going to hang out with Wade that night.
Much appreciated.
I think we'll take him out to dinner. He wants to take us to some bars. We'll see about that. But it's on our dime, Wade, obviously.
We'll go to
Game Time's already talking shit.
We'll go to some good hole-in-the-wall dive bars. Nothing too crazy.
Fine,
I love it. I love it.
It's all
Cardboard
on us,
palace.
my man.
Brian, did you tell Wade about Michael Irvin's new bar and grill?
Oh yeah, and the Colony Playmakers. Yeah.
They squeeze your ass when you walk in.
Yeah, it's probably one of those deals you got to pay like $20 to get in. There's a minimum. Who knows? It might be one of those Thomas.
I don't think so. I think it's like the Maverick, similar to the Maverick.
Well, you know what? That's funny you said the Maverick bar. Have you been there, Wade? Have you been to the Maverick bar?
Oh yeah, I was there last week.
Because I was talking to Mike Fisher. I don't know that he's going to come on.
Yeah, that's it. It's about 5 minutes. It's about 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is that Mike Fisher's bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm working on. I didn't even tell Phil this. I'm working on doing a little live stream while me and Phil are in Frisco with Mike Fisher, but we'll see. It'll be like a short little thing outside at the Star, But I'm working on it. I've reached out to Mike, and we've had a little bit of dialogue. You know, Mike, he's a little bit crusty old man. You know, he likes doing Mike, and he respects journalists. But, you know, I kind of...
I'll take you to the Capel Deli, and we go ahead and get the Newton special, Nate Newton special they used to eat at. Cowboys used to eat at there back in the day.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Oh, they got some good
I don't know if my
steakhouses in
body can
Texas.
handle any Nate Newton specials
Yeah,
and stuff.
that might be too much. For,
Oh, man, I remember I was only a quarterback. I was not, no offensive line.
Especially one from the Commandos, right?
Ooh,
You know,
yeah,
good-
Hey, when y'all was in the airport too, Drew Pearson has a bar over there at the
We're
airport.
at the DFW.
Yeah.
Well, I was
So
telling
I was like,
I was thinking about telling Phil we might fly into. I don't know yet, but I might fly into Love because it's only 6 miles from Omni Frisco, and then maybe fly out of DFW since we'll be in Arlington. But I got to do more homework.
Yeah,
but-
I flew into Love Field.
Yeah. I think that might be better for me and Phil to fly into Love and then maybe fly out of DFW. But either way, they have a pro shop at DFW.
yeah, fly out of Love, out after that. Man, that's just so much to wrap around there.
But anyway, as I like to say, circling back, we are literally just a few days away from the start of
What's that thing called?
It's training camp.
Training camp.
It's called football, Phil.
You
It's
talking
called,
training
oh my
camp? Talking
God, we're playing
practice?
football.
We're talking practice.
Not a game. Not a game that I love. We're talking
No,
about
we're actually
practice.
talking practice or draft or anything. We're actually talking about
Yeah,
practice.
exactly. Shout out to the 61 people in here now. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button. And again, super chats are open. We are.
Or hit that dislike button if you don't like it.
If you don't
Just
like
give
it,
us-
it
give us
doesn't
some-
matter whether you like or dislike. They just want to know whether you're looking at it.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
At
If you hate it,
$27
just
towards our next giveaway. So let's go. Twiz, what's up? Stirring the gravy, I see. Devil Dog, Dak needs to get extended. Twiz, I don't know if you're being facetious. I know a kid Cowboy 66.
I think they need to put in the contract, like, we'll provide babysitters
Look
and
at
shit.
Lord
You got
Nova, Throne
diapers
World.
for the year. I think you got to throw it in there, man. You got to throw it in as a parent. Like, what do we have to constantly go get? Diapers, man. We'll have somebody that runs the diaper for you and stuff. That you can't get that anywhere else. Only here in Dallas.
Throne World, baby. I like you, Lord Nova. Welcome, baby. Marcus Blackman, what y'all think Elliott going to do this season?
I think
Go
he'll have
ahead.
1,000.
I'm curious to see everybody, including Drew's driving. He's probably, I think Drew works. He's probably like clocking into work right now. Yeah, Rob, what's your feeling on Ezekiel Elliott, the non-Cowboy fan?
I could see anywhere between 9 and 1,000. I mean that.
I mean,
Really
that's
kinda
basically
it's not because of
these
him.
days isn't, you know.
It's not because of his trash can running. It's because of that offensive line. Like,
Yeah, I could see that. Take some pressure off of Dak. I mean, I think if Dak doesn't get extended from Dallas, if he was smart, he would lean more on the run, kind of keeps him out of harm's way a little bit. You know, you want to get through this year healthy first and foremost, and that's what I hope. I don't ever wish harm on any player at all, regardless. So I think he's going to lean on the run game a little bit more. And Zeke, I think, isn't your youngest running back, but I think he's probably your most reliable one. So I could see Zeke get between 9 and 1,000.
Thomas? Garrett?
But my man just took most everything out of my
Well,
mouth.
go ahead,
I'm so
reiterate
sorry, my
that
man.
shit.
I say
That's not easy.
1,000, and I say between 900 and $1,000, and and then plus you can't forget about
Rico.
the best pass blocking back.
Rico. Look at Loyal. I like your avatar. It's awesome.
I'm about to say, I thought he was using some skincare products. I was like,
Dude,
man,
I'm
nice
like,
shit.
I didn't have any mushrooms yet. I mean, what the hell?
I thought it'd make people laugh. Need something to laugh about right now.
What, this front office isn't enough? Shit. It's like,
Yeah, this front office.
Yeah, I should have put a clown up here. I could have been Stephen Jones, and then
There
that
you
would've
go.
been-
that would-
Lord Nova, a Throne World says, "What's up, Loyal?"
What's up, Lord Nova? Yeah, I think it's gonna be running back by committee. I think that he'll have like they said between 800 to 1,000 yards. It's not gonna be the Zeke of old, unfortunately.
Rob A.
Yeah, I saw that. Brad, I don't think so. I don't think I mean, I know he has to learn a new offense, but again, I even threw this in a super chat with Sills and Mark a couple of weeks back.
What's up, Angry
learning,
Cowboys fan?
learning a new offense for Jalen is nothing new. I mean, this is his fourth new offense he's learning since he's been in the league. So I don't see him going out there, kind of segueing what I just said about Dak staying out of harm's way. I mean, just to learn a new offense, just to try to catch up a little bit and wrap your head around it, I don't think is worth getting him hurt in preseason. So I don't see him playing in preseason.
Yeah. Shout out to
and
Angry.
you can't and let's be real with that being said, I think Rob has on to something. If you don't see him in preseason, don't jump on this guy the first 3 weeks of the season. Like, it takes some time. You saw Dak and them last year. A new offensive coordinator put in there. It took until after the bye week before this offense really kind of got going. So as the new offense starts going, you still got at least to get until like week 6, week 7 before you really can say that this is the identity of a team. So just because you see something in the beginning doesn't mean anything.
Shout out to the Angry Cowboys fan. Me and Angry Cowboys fan are going to be doing a live. I'm going to bring him on the show Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. But everybody say a quick prayer for Angry Cowboy fan's brother, I believe, Angry. He's going through some medical issues. We hope that he's going to pull through and everything's going to be okay. Angry Cowboy fan, we have a lot in common, my man. My brother passed away from something similar. So,
and you're both angry. Yeah.
And we're both angry.
Prayers.
So, yeah, Angry Cowboy fan, I'm
sure.
looking forward to chopping it up with you, my guy. Anybody that just look up the Angry Cowboys fan and subscribe to his channel as well. He's got the velvety Don Cornelius voice. If anybody knows, old enough to know who Don Cornelius was.
I was thinking more of a Tone Loc. You got like a Tone Loc voice to me.
Either way,
you just spread some
I know
bad
them both,
news.
so that shows my age.
Either way, the Angry Cowboys fan has a lot of knowledge to spread, and we want to spread his channel, and I'm looking forward to doing a stream with you. Just remember, Angry, I want you to have some questions for me. I always tell people that when I bring them on. I brought on Louis T, who's killing it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I talk too much or whatever, but he didn't ask me much. I want you to ask me some questions, too. I like to be able to sit back and chill. Like, Phil knows, I'm not a very hard worker. He does all the legwork, man. Now, I'm joking with you, Angry, but yeah, think of some stuff to talk about. And Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, we will be going live, and make sure everybody returns. Following by Wednesday, me and Phil, hopefully, we'll be doing our live stream again, channel member Zoom call with everybody here who can make it. I'm looking forward to it. But getting back, like I like to say, circling back, I want to talk about some Eagles, and I know this is a lot of Dallas guys here and women here, but we also have a lot of Eagles fans in the house, and there's a lot being said. Rob, I'm going to let you lead this. I want to know, leading into training camp, what are you thinking? What are some of the big things you're looking for going forward for the Birds, our nemesis?
I want to see Jordan Davis, see how, they said he dropped some weight. I want to see how he's looked, if he looks lighter on his feet. Again, I want to see how this offense responds to another new offense with Kellen Moore, taking the reins. And I'd love to see Saquon. I mean, I guess there's so much spotlight on him right now with Hard Knocks and everything, but I just like Drew brought up, Wade actually brought up earlier, as far as Dallas defense. Well, that's my concern is Eagles defense. I want to see what the linebackers are. I want to see Devin White. I want to see if he could get back to his old form, at least with his rookie year. And then honestly, I kind of want to see what Howie does, because I think Howie's really quick. If he sees things aren't starting to look right, Howie's not shy from making a move. So, I kind of want to see on how all that plays out with the defense with Saquon, and see if Howie pulls off any last minute kind of trades to get some more talent in on that defense.
Yeah. Got to jump in on that?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's all you.
Yeah, I would say I think a lot of that is a great example of you don't really have to worry too much about that offense. I think the offense will eventually come into its own play. You got too much talent to be bogged down by just little stupid shit. So I like what their offense is going to possibly be. I think the weakest point is maybe Kellen Moore, but I think we'll see how that goes. I mean, it could be a blessing in disguise for them. And I've said it more. I've been more on that other side where I've said I think this connection could really work with those two. So I'm going to swing as well as Rob A. I'm going to swing on to the defensive side, and I'm going to go with the cornerbacks. You got two young corners, and you got one that you could possibly walk away with in the sense of a big contract. So you got two corners. Do you have two gems? Do you have one gem? Did Howie Roseman kind of add on to the I can't draft, and then you get two duds? There's a lot of stuff that could be wrapped around into these corners, but I'm interested to see how they develop. I mean, again, if they get burned to the first year, I'm not just automatically dropping it in there. To me, they've been able to prove it in college. It did take them sometimes a year or two to get into it. So again, I'm going to be the same thing as the NFL. The NFL can be a little bit faster, getting used to how these wide receivers go, just what you can get away with some of these referees. I think it can take a year or two to get into it, but I'm interested to see their two young corners and where they develop.
And I also
Phil,
need to
I
see,
like
you know,
you.
how, as far as Howie Roseman, like, did he make the right move with Quinyon Mitchell? You know, I really want to know if he did make the right move with Quinyon Mitchell, because Terry Arnold, man, he was a stud too. You know, and him playing in the SEC, I really need to know if
I
he's
like
got the right
Quinyon's
one.
intangibles. I like his intangibles more than I like Terrion. But Phil, I like you, man. I like the way you think. You don't let that star blind you, bro. I like that, man.
No.
But
I think you
let
can
me
say that about both of us, Drew. Come on now. We'll
Brian,
start your
you
shit.
know how I feel. You know
Start
how
your
I feel
shit.
about you, bro. But no, you know that's why I stir the gravy, man. But
Yeah, he's starting
no, really,
it right.
I do believe, and you guys have heard me say this before, like there's four pillars to a team that I look at, and that's the coach, quarterback, offensive line, defensive line. To me, those are the pillars right there. If you are hitting on all four of those things, everything else can kind of fall into place and kind of, you know, work itself out. Offensive line, we're A1 there. Defensive line, I don't really have a lot of concerns there. I think that, you know, linebacker is a question mark. There's a question mark still with the corners, even though that we have improved in that area, but there's still question marks there because we still have Slay. Slay is solid. You know, I want Trashberry out of there.
Yeah.
But we're solid with Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers is a solid player. I like what he brings to the table. So, and also with CJ playing the safety role, I think he brings a lot of toughness and validity to that secondary as well. So the defense, I'm not so much concerned about because, like I've said before,
What's
the
up, Robert?
Eagles have been playing a form of Vic Fangio's defense for the last 3 to 4 years. But we just actually have the actual Jedi Master who concocted this whole scheme that's running it now. So I don't think the transition will be as difficult. I think there'll be maybe some hiccups, a little bit of, you know, things they have to work out. But they've been running this defense for the last 3, maybe 4 years. So I think our transition defensively may play out a little bit better than Dallas's transition because, you know, I don't think that you guys really have the pieces to run Zimmer's defense. Now,
True.
Offensively, like Phil said, I'm not really concerned offensively. The only question mark that I have is, and I'm being honest with this, is Nick really going to step back and let Jalen and Kellen Moore really grow this relationship, grow in the system, and really work it out? I'm not really concerned with Kellen Moore. I think he has the weapons. Offensively, I think we're going to be just fine. We'll probably be maybe top 5 in the league. So defense is pretty much where my question marks are. But I have some confidence in Fangio that he not only is the architect of this defense, but he was there during the Super Bowl year. Not only was he there as a consultant for the defense, but he was also a consultant, people forget, for the offense. He was a consultant with Nick to help Jalen with these defenses. So I'm really excited about the season starting.
Listen, man, I just want to hop in here. I just want to shout out to my two guys here. Listen, I would say I got the two most knowledgeable, and Brad, just put your hand over your ears, brother. The two most knowledgeable classy Eagle fans that I could possibly have in here as part of my crew, my channel members, part of the Mailheads crew is Drew and Rob. Listen, they just got, they just said what was on their mind, and they're nothing but classy. Now, Drew gets a little, he gets a little wild every now and again, but Drew and Rob are the most knowledgeable Eagle fans, straight-headed type of guys that you could possibly want. So I know my Cowboy fans are like, oh my God, I'm getting nauseous. Listen, at the end of the day, we're going to keep it 100 here on this channel. That's just how we're going to roll. And I told Drew, if Dallas gets out to a rough start, I'm going to keep it 100 as well. Unfortunately, Drew, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll be a 500 type start. Me and Phil talked about it. And then I think they're going to end up where they always end up. 10 to 11, 9, anywhere from 9 to 11 wins is where we're going to end up. You're going to have to win 12 games to blatantly win this division. But it's going to be fun. Here's the deal.
I haven't said 12-5.
No, I'm just saying. I think you're going to have to win 11 or 12 to win a division, and I think you can. I'm probably going to pick the Birds.
I haven't said 12-5.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, I appreciate common sense Eagle fans that are a part of this, because you guys, you keep it real. Rob, listen, everybody loved it. Dude, you're getting a lot of love in the chat, Drew. A lot of love. So everybody, he's talking about starting his own chat.
Is my guy Brad in here?
Brad is in here. Brad and you have become close.
Brad, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? My brother Brad.
Shout out to the 70 people in here. I appreciate everybody. Hit
about
like
Drew
button.
is my man is just passionate. He's just a passionate Eagles fan.
Yes.
Much love to him and to the whole family. I mean, I super chat this almost at the end of every live stream. Just great show, and I look at all of you as family. We're family. I mean, we could have different teams, different passions, but we're family.
That's the key.
I mean, it's just. I was gonna say real fast. It's just Eagles and Cowboys. It's just Eagles and Cowboys, pretty much. Because damn.
It is.
Washington and the New York Giants, my God, not existent. Where are these?
Well, give it about mid-season, then Washington fans will start coming on.
The most interesting thing about New York is probably the hard knocks.
Yeah,
Washington fans will start coming on if they win a few 2 or 3 games to start off. They'll be on.
Well, they're good.
Thank you, Lloyd. I was just going to say we have to be careful, man, because New York and Washington, man, they are
a couple
coming,
years,
bro.
A couple years,
they're coming.
Give it a couple years.
That's what happened when you drafted the top 5 every year.
You'll be good. I think Washington's coming.
Detroit Lions.
I think Washington's on the come up before New York right now.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Washington.
You're in a better position to do it. Yeah, way better.
They're in a better position, but the Giants
might not have a job after this year. Some of the moves he made some good moves, but man, Hard Knocks really kind of exposes some of the shit that he does, and he might not have a job after this year.
They got to change that name back to the Redskins. I'm getting tired of calling them the Commanders.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And real quick, let me just say this. I appreciate the love that Brian gave, but I am not. I mean, I want to give a shout out to all, the other Eagles fans out there who are doing it and have been doing it. Those guys, I'm riding on their coattails. I'm riding on Game Time, and all you guys have been doing it for a while too. I got to say this, even Mark Holmes. Man, I just threw up in my mouth right there.
The Godfather.
All these guys.
That's the Yoda of live streaming.
Man. And, but I think I'm from Philly, so it's just passion. I was born into this. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I just get going. And that time, me and Wade, I was just meeting Wade's energy. But it's all good. It's all respect. It's all love. We good.
I can appreciate how Wade, holds everybody kind of accountable with it, where he just comes real with it.
Exactly. Yes.
And I can respect that. Everybody on this chat and on these calls, keeps it real. Like, if you say Dak could, didn't do too well in the Niner game, whatever, you stay real with it. And
I hate the Eagles, but I'm very critical of my team. I know my team has not been in the best. My team is literally. We've blown some opportunities. Like we've had good squads. Like there to me, there's no excuse not to get it done or get further. No excuse.
Yes, sir. And I feel the same way about my Eagles. I hold them accountable. Jalen
Here's
messes
the
up.
Deal, everybody. Here's the deal. and again, we could sit here and be fantasy football people and look at numbers and worry about, or we could be fans. Again, we got to keep it real. If not, then you got to get to stepping, because we're going to call Dak. If Dak shits the bed, we're going to call it. That's just, I'm not going to hide my, Phil knows. I mean, I had a bag over my head after the Green Bay game. I was embarrassed because
he Amber Heard'd it, man.
I Amber Heard that. I mean, I didn't. I didn't drop a deuce on the bed next to anybody. But other than that, it was pretty much Amber Heard.
I'll talk about Dak dropping it.
Either way, you get the point.
You get the diss on that one.
Yeah. See, guilty one speaks up first, Brian.
Stradamus? Hold up. Let's get the V. Rule 1: never underestimate your opponent. The Giants and Washington can always be spoiled.
Yeah, they could. But even if they spoil us, they're still going to suck ass for the rest of the season. Let's be real. I mean, they can screw us all they want. It's just they still they got to play the rest of the schedule. So I mean, I just can't give it to them right now. I mean, we'd have to really collapse. Yeah. But by that point, I'm excited about the next draft. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Hey V, I think it's Drew who said that. I think Drew is right. I think Washington, the closer I get to the season, the better I think that the Commanders are going to do. I think that they're going to be good, Phil. I think the roster's a young, good roster, but again, they're going against established rosters. And if I'm going to say it, if they do win and they do an amazing job, good for them. But at the same time, you're doing exactly what the Giants did and stunning your growth, because let's be real, this is the time where I think they could be top 3, top 4 again, picking next year. And it has nothing to do with the talent of the roster. It has everything to do with the fact that it's a very young team going against very good teams in a division that 2 of them are probably ahead of them, and then you got a whole conference that, there's a couple of teams ahead of you right there. So, I mean, to me, it would be, again, and I'm going to say it, it's like the Giants, and I said that before when they were happening. Yes, you're winning now, but you're taking a step back. And think about, they could have already gotten the replacement for Barkley with a bad year. Let's be real. Right. Yeah.
You can't win without a quarterback. I think if Washington had a quarterback, they would probably be a lot better.
They got a better quarterback at least.
But they've never really had a quarterback, though. You think about the history of them. Yeah. I mean, Mark Rippon, he won a Super Bowl.
Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, Drew. You're good. No, you're good, Drew.
No, if you look at what Washington has, they have a rookie quarterback, so there's a huge question mark there. They have a running game. They have a decent offensive line. Their defense is good.
The defense is really good. They got some wide receivers.
So, I mean, if you look at their schedule, I think they may get off to a rough start, but halfway through and towards the end of their season, I have them winning 10 games and coming in second place.
I think their weakness could
above Dallas.
I think the defense right there is going to be, I think Dan Quinn, with what Washington did last year before Dan Quinn got in there, may cause Dan Quinn to have the exact same weakness on the defense, and that's your edges not being able to stop that run. So, I mean, think about who they got rid of.
They got Bobby Wagner, though.
Bobby Wagner.
Look at their tackles.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yes. The tackles are amazing, but we had a big problem with our size. I mean, when you look at our middle was wide open that you could run all over, but our problems was on the side. Though. What happened when Arizona runs how long, and it was on the sides. So, I mean, Washington right now, I think, has a better defensive line, but let Dan Quinn get a hold of it.
Real quick.
Hey, and all I'm saying, Cowboys Nation, damn well we ain't got no linebackers on our team better than Bobby Wagner, even in his mid-30s. Sorry.
True. Oh, yeah, that's
Neither
correct.
do we.
Real quick. I got a message from Brad. He texted me because Drew can't see the chat. Brad says, hey, Drew, I hope you're having a good day. And he says hi. So I'm loving the fact that Brad, who's going through his struggles right now. I'm not going to get, Brad knows. Brad's been very vocal.
Yeah, man, it's off-season. We're all going through struggles, man.
Drew,
shit, I need some
football,
baby.
Fan or bonding.
I'm with that.
Listen. That's just like the other day. I was Well,
You watching soccer? I know, man. That shit too. Damn.
Bang.
That's
And
hilarious.
and everybody's pissed off because
I don't have much jack with you today.
you ain't
Whoa,
drunk, are you,
whoa,
Jared?
whoa. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But everybody's frustrated right now because it's an NFL drought. There's nothing to report on, and everybody's pissed off at each other because everybody's taking their frustrations out on each other.
Yeah, go ahead.
And thank God, training camp start in a couple of days, and at least that'll give us something.
We're gonna see some fights. We're gonna see some fights.
Yeah, with the players going back to practice. Shoot, I was in church this morning, and one of my ushers was like, "Man, I'm going to training camp Tuesday, man. Go see what's up with the guys."
Tell them
I'm like, bye.
I was like, it's the Lord day.
Praise the Lord.
Can't be talking linebackers. Talking about practice.
Not a game. Not a game.
Not the game. Not the game. We're talking about
We're not talking about communions. We're talking about practice.
I understand. I'm supposed to be there.
We're talking about baptism.
All right, we got another 15 minutes to kill before we get out of here.
Oh, so we're gonna continue talking about Washington and New York. So we might as well get those guys in
Phil,
there.
take control. My wife's trying to flag me down for something, so let me talk to her.
Yeah,
you better get on that, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, it's going to be timeout for the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly. Get on that, bro.
Giants
I like
are about to go in the
Washington.
tank.
Which one? The Giants?
Giants. I think they're going to go in the tank here pretty fast.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it was with their schedule as well too. I mean, if you're putting everything you have on Danny Dimes' shoulder, woo, that guy can't squat a lot of pounds. I don't expect it to last very long. It's going to be like, I mean, we saw him running down the field with ghost leg, with no weight on him, and he couldn't like run forward, and he trips and fumbles.
Yeah,
and now you want to put a
over
whole
his shadow.
franchise on his shoulder and shit. I don't know about this, man.
But Phil, as a former quarterback that played the position, is Danny Dimes as bad as what we make him out to be?
No.
He is very athletic.
No, I give him a lot of crap.
Right,
You give him a
he
lot
brings.
of crap.
I give him a lot of
Yeah,
crap. That
and-
offensive line sucks.
Because
Let's be real.
his offensive line is trash. I mean,
Yeah.
but they did make some good moves to help with their guards. You know what I mean? But Danny Dimes is not as bad as what we think he is. He does have a weapon in Neighbors. So, I think their schedule is brutal. But I do think that Washington and New York are heading in the right direction. They are heading in the right direction.
That money, if you can take that money, and unfortunately, it's like you need to keep drafting offensive line. You got to build him a young offensive line that can start to work well together. You did a step forward in the sense of at least getting him weapons. I think he takes a step back in the sense of the tight end position because, of course, Waller has to do his thing.
Yeah.
He misses Plum. He wants to move out back to Vegas and stuff and hopefully reconnect with Plum there since her career is kind of going upwards. So I would definitely consider that. But to me, at least they did well on the other side of the ball. They went out and got Burns to opposite of course, my Oregon guy on the defensive edge. You need that guy. I mean, Hudson, let's be real. When we look at the Lions, amazing defense, but you don't have anybody on the other side to complement Hutchinson on what he's doing.
That's true.
So if you have somebody in New York went and did that, and they got a great Dexter, of course, in the defensive tackle, you got to get some people in the secondary, man. I think that's your weakness.
Yeah.
And they're just going to get thrown all over. But
That
if you
was
can continue.
That was what killed him in the conference championship game against San Francisco.
Well, they also lost
But you
Kennedy
know,
as well.
pass rush
So, I mean,
helps-
their secondary is
Pass
going to be
rush helps
suspect.
corners, though.
Mhm.
Phil, pass rush helps corners.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah, I
rushing
mean,
that quarterback with sacks, that can help
Yeah,
out
that's
those
what I
quarterbacks.
was thinking, Drew,
Carolina
when it comes
Panthers.
to the Eagles. Aubrey Huff? No, not
Huff compared to
Huff.
Reddick. Yeah. Yeah.
We got is Drake playing for us now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Who?
No, but that's what's going to help that's what's going to help the Eagles' corners is a
Bryce
good
Huff.
pass rush.
Bryce Huff.
Huff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
I don't know if our pass rush has gotten better though.
Well, I
think
mean,
that,
on
with
paper it
Jalen
hasn't.
Carter,
But yeah,
Yeah.
paper is bullshit.
I don't know if
BS.
it's gotten better. It's solid, but I don't know if the pass. That's my biggest question mark about the defense is the pass rush. You know, Hassan Reddick's not there. I'm hoping Bryce Huff can contribute and bring, you know, somewhere close to those numbers. And I think Jalen Carter is just going to have a monster year. You know, he's really going to have a monster year. But I don't know if the pass rush is as better. I don't think it's better, but I think it's still good.
Josh Sweat needs a step up. I mean, the year before our Super Bowl year, he had 10 plus sacks. You know, he was on the trading block. He actually thought he was going to get traded before Reddick got traded. He tweeted out, "Thank you, Philadelphia, for all you've done." You know, and they ended up, and I was hoping it would have been Sweat that was gone and we kept Reddick. We ended up keeping Josh Sweat, so he's really got to step up and get back to that Super Bowl year form of 10 plus sacks. He has to.
Agree.
Shout out
maybe
to Brad
just writing it.
Harris real quick with the $20 super chat. He says, "Great stream. Everyone take care." Yeah, Brad just wants to reiterate that he wants to wish Drew a good day. Thank you, Brad.
Hey, back at you, Brad. Back at you, Chad.
We
Everybody
are
in the chat.
We're getting close. We're at $47 towards our $75 giveaway. So just to keep everybody updated. Thank you so much, Brad. You are the man, of course. Very big supporter of the channel. One day when I get my RV, I will be swooping by and grabbing Brad on our way to a Cowboy game. So I'm looking forward to that. No, Mark Holmes, you're not getting trashed. We are warming up the crowd for another 8 minutes before we slide over to your channel. So do me a favor, grab a quick nap because we know that you're overdoing it a bit and you need a nap. All right?
I paid Mark a compliment.
No, I did that a
paid
couple
Mark
of
a
weeks ago
compliment.
and wish I would never done it.
I paid Mark a compliment, Brian. I don't think you were here, but I paid Mark a compliment.
What'd you say?
I was saying that I appreciate you saying that I was one of the knowledgeable Eagles fans, but I was just saying that there's guys before me.
You got to understand,
that I have to bow down
Drew.
to, and I said even Mark Holmes is someone who can be considered a predecessor, who is someone that I can give props to.
Yeah, well, wow, giving props to you, Mark. He's giving props to you. Now, Mark, Mark's Mark, but
I know Mark. I don't know about that.
Yeah, he ain't giving props.
No, but I respect Wade because Wade doesn't kiss the ring, right? With all due respect, he doesn't kiss the ring.
Mark, game time is right, Mark. You do need to slow down. I think I've literally seen you work on every house in the state of Virginia. Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. And again, everybody's first experience with Wade and Drew was them going back and forth. All as I was saying is I don't mind the debate. We just got to do one at a time because you got to remember we got people listening.
I thought that was
in.
pretty funny looking back at that.
Yeah, it was fun. But here's the deal. Drew loves his Eagles, and he wishes they're going to win. And he's obviously going to point out that we haven't won shit in 28, 29 years. And Wade knows that we have plenty of friggin' hardware to flash, but we also know that it needs to be shined up a bit because it's been friggin' 29 years. So the bottom line is it's been 29 years, and it's time that we do something, right, Wade? It's time to stop sitting around waiting for watching other teams get all the glory.
It's not going to be this year.
You thought Mark's meltdown? You thought Mark's meltdown was bad when the Packers beat us? You should have seen my meltdown.
Yeah, dude. I
was cutting Ric Flair promos in that living room. I mean, I was throwing shit all over the place. Well, it was bad.
My son, AJ, has never saw a winner, and he's 20 years old for crying out loud. And yet he's still a Cowboy fan. So, Drew, AJ's got to be the most positive, great fan you could ever wish for because he saw basically 2 playoff wins in his whole lifetime. That's it. That's like, the Eagles of the 80s and 90s. That's not 90s, 80s. You know what I mean? So it's like very frustrating for Cowboys fans. But at the end of the day, we're only, a little over a month away from the start of the season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
A month and a half.
Makes my nipples hard. Yep.
And I'm
game time, Brian.
Yes. Go ahead, bro.
my meltdown was so bad after that game. My lady friend was scared to call me because she thought she was going to get cussed out. And I'm like, baby, no, I wasn't going to cuss you out. I probably would have went off because you called me at the wrong time. But no, baby, I wasn't gonna cuss you out.
That's funny.
Yeah, when the Cowboys got beat up by the Packers, I was at my buddy Ted's house. He'd been watching the Cowboys since like the early 70s, and he was like, I'd never seen anything so disgusting in my life.
It is. It's rough.
It's just-
It's rough. Very, very rough for us Cowboy fans. But at the same time,
Thanks for bringing it back up, guys. I appreciate
But
that shit.
at the
Salt in the
at the
wound,
I
huh?
same
mean,
time-
hell, my dad is born and raised here in Dallas, and he's watched the Cowboys since the early 70s. He didn't even call them the Cowboys anymore. He calls them the loser boys.
At the end of the day, though,
49er game was a little bit more where I that one where we got blown
what's going
out.
on
It was
with
like-
Mark? Mark's blowing up. F you,
Yeah.
Eagle fans.
Everybody's
that
giving him
Eagles
props
has
and he's
landed.
talking shit about. Oh, come
What
on.
does
now.
Eagles has landed said? Why does Mark saying F you? What is Mark Combs taking a nap? Oh, come on, Mark. Take a break. Come on, relax, bro. See, he's too tense. Mark's
He
too
is,
tense
too.
right now. You're going out to Cali. You need to go
Cali,
visit.
Cali.
We're gonna
Asian-
jump
oh,
on
yeah,
the
oh,
stream.
yeah.
We're gonna jump on the stream, and Mark's gonna be like, "I'm not taking any shit today."
Yeah,
I already know what he's
God.
gonna.
I'm firing everybody up for your ass, Mark. You better be ready to roll, bro. You can't just.
Oh,
be,
you better tune in game time because he's gonna be talking some smack against you.
well, the first 5 minutes, maybe me and Mark going at it. So stay tuned for
See,
Mark.
I wish Mark would have done that. When me and Mark were at the Eagles game, we were sitting next to each other, and Eagles were destroying us. And I mean, I was arguing, cussing with all the Eagles fans. I mean, we were yelling at each other, and Mark was just sitting there, just watching everything happen. I'm like, Mark, get involved. Come on, Mark. Start saying what you really feel, Mark.
Damn, Mark, calm down. What's your issue, bro?
Yeah, I'll see y'all at the. I'll see y'all. At
It's that change of life. He's going through that change of life. He needs to get some hot flashes over there or something.
Come on, bro. What's your issue? Calm down. You seem awful mean, aggressive, bro.
Gang.
Hey, see, I don't know if I should go to the Eagles game because damn, I've been to 4 Eagles games in the city of
fuck
Dallas.
that.
We've lost all 4.
No.
We've lost all
Wait,
4.
I'm buying your ticket.
No.
Buying your ticket.
You can fucking sit outside. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sitting with you, Wade.
All right, Mark. All right, bro. I see how it is. I hope you're faking.
I've been to a lot of Cowboy games away
See you, Laura.
and in Arlington, but I've never been to a Dallas Eagles game. Never had.
Oh man, I'm like, damn. Can I see the Cowboys beat the Eagles once in Dallas?
I've never lost, Wade. I've been there 2 times, and I saw Eagles beat Dallas beat Eagles twice. So
I seen us beat Carolina
stay
and
home,
Seattle. I
game
saw
time, stay
Emmitt
home.
Smith.
I'm there.
I saw
baby.
Emmitt Smith break the record.
I'm texting Mark now. I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Oh shoot, Mark mad?
Yeah, he seems like he's mad.
What?
But I was telling you earlier, game time in his video. He
No, he texted me after that. I hope he must be really playing this up. If not, I'm going to light his effing ass up because I'm not playing the game. You calm the F down, Mr. Holmes. Get a nap. You don't like it? You get a dog. Anyway, I think I'm in Oxnard, California. Mark is going to need some diapers. Arturo.
Damn it, man.
What's that mean? He might already
There you go,
wear
guys.
them.
Keep poking the bear.
There you go.
Mark's gonna just cut promos on all of us when we get in there. He's gonna talk mad shit. It's coming. It's coming.
I know I would.
All right, he's all right. Mark's fine. He's just playing the game. All right. Everybody, keep lighting up, Mark. Let's fire his ass up. But Mark comes so mad about. Hey, listen, I don't know what he can be mad about. Him and Stephen Jones have done a wonderful job with the Cowboys. So you know,
Reach around.
yeah. I mean, listen, bro, get a friggin' deal done with somebody, Stephen Jones. But anyway, Hamid, fans who is 36 and under, who's an Emmitt Smith. I don't know, Hamid, you just like a trolling bitch. Logan Motorsports, what's up? Mark, is that Dak last season? It might be Dak's last season. I mean, I tend to doubt it, Logan. I think you Eagle fans are going to have to deal with Dak for years to come. But that's just
I don't mind that.
I know you
I don't mind that. I mean, blow up your cap. You know,
Nah, I don't
sign
think
him.
it's going to blow it up, though.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, it's gonna.
Please
between
do
him and CD,
Well,
it's gonna
here's
take
a-
a big chunk
It's going to
of your
save
cap.
us
Dak
money.
for
right
life.
away.
It is, but at least it's comboed with what they actually can do well, and that's draft with because of somebody else picking
It's
it.
got to be angry.
I
I'm good.
heard
with it.
Brian.
Portion of
I
last
I
year's
heard
draft.
Brian Broaddus talk about how it's more likely that the Cowboys are definitely going to sign CD and keep Dak, and more than like they're not going to sign all three of these guys, like extend all three of them. I think they're probably going to trade Micah. That's what Rob Broadus was talking about. He thinks they're going to. He brings the most trade quality. I mean, you're not going to let CD go. You're not going to let Dak go.
I'd be okay with that.
Here's the deal.
That happening.
Wade, I was doing a video earlier. I know you're on the road. I don't know if you watched it, but I did a video, and I basically it came up. I'm not saying I want to trade these people. I don't know what our injury situation is going to be, Wade, but what I basically said was, everything being equal, if everybody stays healthy, which that doesn't happen, a guy like a TJ Bass on the offense, since we're overloaded on the interior offensive line, and a guy like a Donovan Wilson on the defense. Now, I don't know how, I know nothing. I don't know how Mike
even
Fisher
some of these defensive
Dono.
ends. Yeah.
We have pieces to trade, as well as, and I've been saying this for how many months now, Phil? 2? Eric Scott Jr. If Eric Scott can progress, we know that Dan Quinn loved Eric Scott so much.
Dude, I'll give you 2 of your guys. Give me Eric Scott and Mukwamo. Yeah. Give me Ridgeway.
I mean, damn, if the Buccaneers, now hold on. If the Buccaneers literally called up, if I was running the Cowboys, hey, we'll give you Vita Vea and like a second-round pick for Micah Parsons. Sure.
I'd be up there in age.
Yeah, but he's still a lot better than what we have.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But,
I don't know if you want to get someone.
I don't know about Vita Vea because
dude, do you see what they do though? They go and trade for people that will only play a year. So
that's true. That's a Cowboy move for sure.
Mm-hmm. Gilmore.
I'm just saying,
Ridgeway.
Vita Vea. We need a guy like a Vita Vea on our defensive line.
Vita Vea is a beast. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally think he would make a bigger impact, than Micah on our defense.
Yeah. I agree with you, Wade.
You can draft defensive linemen, but how long is that going to last, Wade? 1 year, 2 year?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if Vita Vea is going to drop off the face of the earth this year.
See, we know that, Drew, but Stephen Jones will make that kind of move because that's what Stephen does.
The one guy they
Yeah, but our issue has always been the middle of the field. Like you said yourself, you said your 4 positions you want: head coach, quarterback, offensive line, defensive line. Cowboys ain't had a defensive line since 2007.
What, Leroy Glover? What was that back in there?
Chris Canty, Greg Ellis, DeMarcus Ware. Those are some big dudes. Greg Ellis.
Yeah. Well, Greg Ellis is back. I mean, that's good, right?
But
I'm just saying, those are some big dudes. Those are some big defensive linemen. And
Cam Hayward too wouldn't be a bad pickup from Pittsburgh. Right.
But Phil, I keep throwing this out there because now I know you're a former quarterback, bro. I gotta bow down to your understanding. Would you prefer to because I think trading Micah is a mistake. I just think you need to find out what position he actually is going to play and have a scheme that's going to feature what he can do. I get it, he's a weapon, but this guy wears down at the end of the year. If he's going to play linebacker, let him play linebacker, figure it out, or bring in somebody that can build. Because I think he would be best fitted in a 3-4 defense, right?
Yeah, so, I agree. 3-4 defense on the outside, like a Von Miller.
Right. Would you definitely keep CD, right? Yeah. Keep Micah, bring in a good defensive coordinator and help mold him. No hate on Dak, but get rid of Dak, get picks for him, and bring in, because, I mean, how far is Dak going to take you? You can get in the playoffs and get further with other quarterbacks if you have CD, a better slot receiver, another receiver on the end. If you have a team, if you can put together an offense like Philadelphia's, right, with just an average quarterback or someone that can get it done potentially with all those weapons, and a solid defense, would you prefer that as opposed to scrapping it and building it all over, doing like a soft reboot?
Well, I think right now, it's kind of like you're in the stages of a soft reboot, because once you go past this year, Dak, nothing's guaranteed with Dak. You're right. I think the only picks you're getting from Dak is the picks you get the next following year, those comp picks. I think that's the only thing that you're getting any kind of value out of Dak. And if he's to leave, I think you picked him for the 4th round. He has played his hand. What you got value wise out of this guy you can walk away with, and I think you feel that, hey, I got a 4th round value easily out of this guy. I can walk away, get the comp pick, and let's try a year or 2 with a guy like Trey Lance. Or I'm not saying Trey Lance is at all the answer, but if you can take that $60 million and put it towards a defense, for example, that defense always helps a young quarterback, and
and a running back.
Yeah, and CeeDee Lamb, I love it. I just think with Micah, my question is not Micah's physical ability or his ability to get off of blocks, or maybe in year 2 he'd be able to get through a whole season. But my question is I really would curious about his study outside of the game. Is he lazy? Does he not study film? Right. Is he one of those guys?
He doesn't want to do anything else besides pass rush.
Thank you. If you're that guy, I don't want you as that dude.
Yeah, that's
I want
what I'm
you
saying. Like, dude, if you're gonna do nothing else besides pass rush, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna franchise tag you and I'm gonna trade the shit out of you in 2 years.
Yeah, sir.
If you're barking out orders, if you got the green dot and you're saying, hey, you do shift, you doing that, then bam, I'm paying you and I feel good. But again, we are not doing anything with him. So get the trade out of him, get the picks, because we can lose with you. Can we lose without you as long as we get some value out of it? Because right now, again, but we're going off of Dan Quinn and how he used him. So I'm interested to see somebody else using him, if they use him out of the edge. But I agree in the sense I've always been about getting that 3-4 defense in this scheme, because to me, if you got one defensive down lineman, whether it's a big guy, like we've been talking about bringing it in, but right now you got not Ozzie, but Osa, and then you got Mozzie Smith. I think Mozzie, you're not going to hear shit from Mozzie until contract year. Contract year, he's going to blow up. He's going to have this amazing year, and people are going to get sucked into him, and he's going to go either get a big contract here, or he's going to go somewhere else and fool someone. So I would love to see that, because at least you have some edge rushers, and you got some outside linebackers that you could get on the field at the exact same time. And at least it would give you a better defense than a 4-3, because let's be real, you don't have 2 great defensive tackles. You could at least hopefully mask one defensive tackle with the rest of them.
Phil, another narrative that I don't understand. What I don't understand with this whole Micah talk is that they keep saying Micah, slows down at the end of the year. He gets tired out. Our last live stream we had, they were comparing him to Hassan Reddick. Well, I was looking up the stats, and also
not even close.
Well, and this is what I don't understand. If Micah, it shows weighs in at 245, Reddick weighs in at 230, roughly.
Yep.
How in the hell is Reddick a game record in the playoffs? Over there breaking Purdy's arm and all that stuff, not slowing down. My point is, he's still high motor at the end of the season in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Being lighter, and Micah at 245 being heavier,
I would
tired
say,
and all that.
I would say this, Rob, just just looking at it from a distance.
Sure. Yeah.
Micah, I'm not gonna sit here. He's always double teamed. He's always schemed. I will say this: everybody knows Reddick when he's on the other side. Coming from a Cowboy fan, we are really relieved that we don't have to deal with that pain in the ass.
Dude, that Reddick was a badass.
He just was. Micah is a game wrecker, but teams like the Eagles schemed him. And when Zimmer came in, they specifically said, we have to counter. There's a counter move when the defense decides to scheme him up. There is another move to come, which I'm excited about. We'll see what that evolves into, Rob. But yeah, you're right. Micah has not showed up in the playoffs. Micah has flamed out in the playoffs.
That's why, to me, like Micah's probably
how
like
do you pay him max contract with that?
Right.
And in a couple of years, he'll be a $40 million. He'll want $40 million here in a few years.
Wow.
He'll want $40 million here in a few years. You're not going to pay that. You're not going to pay that for him.
Hey, listen.
Next
He's
year.
talking
He's gonna
about.
want 40 next year.
He's talking about being
That's not a
upset
quarterback.
that he's not rated ahead of Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. He's not as good as either one of them.
Yeah, I would say
I'd rather have
Bosa's better. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that are better than him, and they're not getting double teamed. A lot of those guys aren't getting double teamed. I think that's where the wear and tear of him comes. And they just he doesn't.
JoJo,
I don't know. He plays this whole thing. You
JoJo
remember
does
that?
say it right. She says,
sorry,
scheme,
like-
double and triple teamed. I
I'm
agree
sorry.
with that.
I can't pay $40 million for a guy that can get schemed and then dominated. I'd rather pay $40 million for a Aaron Donald or a Reggie White.
Three guys.
It doesn't matter
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
scheme
Myles
on him.
Garrett.
He's wrecking the shit out of you.
Myles Garrett. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
I want to cut it here. Everybody, I want everybody in my chat. I got 50-some people in here now. Please go over to Mark Holmes' live stream and said Game Time sent you. I guess that's what you mean, Twiz. Everybody go in there and say Game Time sent you. Even if you don't
block
stay.
me, man.
What's
You need to
that?
make a
I asked him. He said you're not blocked, so I don't understand. Maybe he's lying.
Okay.
So, just try it again, Drew. Game
Will
Time
do.
sent you. Go over there. Say Game Time. Game Time sent you, and I'll be over there shortly. I'm gonna have a bite to eat. I'll let everybody get their word in, and then I'm gonna lay it into his ass. So stay tuned. Rob, man, you're killing me, bro. Thank you so much, Rob. You have put us over the top. So do you want me to do a drawing now? Is that what you want,
do
Rob?
drawing now. That's the only reason why you put it in, because you.
Okay. All right, Dick. All right, slow down.
Hey, I'm just trying to
Nobody
support
came
the
for you.
channel,
Game time. We
man.
want the prizes.
18, and we need a
I'm just
drawing
supporting the
here.
channel.
All right, hold up, everybody. We got a drawing. Hold up. Let me see. 47. Yeah, we have a drawing. Shake it up real good, dude. Shake it up. Shake it up.
Appreciate it, JoJo.
We got $2 carryover. Thank you, Rob, for doing that.
Sure. Thanks, Joe.
You don't need to do that, bro. She's putting her hand in. Look at that hand. It's a unbelievable hand.
That's a nurse's hand, man.
That's a nurse's hand, is right.
That's a nurse's hand.
That's a nurse's hand who's seen many
Steady
patients. She's come home, Drew, with many a back injury because the patient has been way too big and there was no nursing. What do you call
Plenty
it?
of back rubs and feet rubs for the
Nursing
nurse,
staff
please,
to help
brother.
her. Yes, definitely. The winner is West Virginia Country Boy is the winner. I will reach out to West Virginia Country Boy. He is the winner of this drawing. If you're in here, bro, please email me at Game Time Brian, and I'll tell you what we got.
I'll see you, gentlemen.
All right, I'll see you
See you,
over
Drew.
there, everybody.
Take care, man.
Have a good
Listen,
one.
thank you so
See y'all
much.
later.
It's
See
been
ya,
a
Thomas.
great stream. I will talk to everybody later. Peace out.
Later.